Hello, my wonderful friends and humans slash snowwatchers. We are now live. Two things I need to do right away. One, can you hear me? Can you see me? Type in the chat, hello. And two, let's go. We're going to be doing some live streams, some vibing, doing a little bit of this, that, and the other. And I do apologize for the delay, my absolute streaming problems. It was absolutely like ridiculous, but we're here now. I just say what's up to some of my dudes that are here. Master, what's up? What's up, Zach? How we doing? Dean, what up, dog? Waco, yo, dibs on the free hoodie giveaway. Tommy will announce. Special hoodie features like heavy zippers, goggle pockets, fur, catch snacks and pockets. For the go. Let's go. Let's go. Justin, what's up, dog? How we doing? Master says my dad got me the flagship board. Let's go, dude. That's sick. So, we're going to be chatting about a little bit of this, that, and the other. As you see back here, over there, we do have an absolute banger sale going on for my clothing company.
There we go. No more echo. Okay, sorry about that. Absolute streamer problems this morning, but what's up, dudes? All right, so the ad, it should be gone. But we're going to be talking about two things. One being we're doing a Black Friday sale for my company, which is this outerwear company and goggles. We're doing an absolute banger deal. We are like literally like up to 50% off store wide, and we're going to be doing these jackets. Look, 20% off. They're normally $189. They're going for $151 right now. Couple different colors. These are like our normal tech hoodie colors. Good vibes. Then we got these new, which is going to be our fam riding hoodies that have a little bit more of the elastics at the bottom, cinch elastics, like elastics as a wrist. And then you could pull one of these strings out as like a cool little stylistic style. It's got pockets, got zippers, a couple different styles. This is the one that I'm wearing right now, which is the gray one. So that's going to be all 20% off. Then we have these. These are literally one of ones. You've never seen these in your life. They're literally specially designed. Boom. Couple of these. We got a whole bunch of these. Go check those out. We got accessories that are on sale as well. Like we literally have like everything. We got goggles that are on sale. We got these that are on sale. Old stuff, new stuff. Literally, these are only $94.50. They're last year's gear. Banger deal. That is literally 50% off right now. So don't miss out on that. Hold on. Sorry, I'm going to switch back screens. My apologies. Hold on. Wait a second. Wait, hold on. I don't know why that's being weird. Oh, I see. You can't see me. But you will be able to see me in one moment after I figure out which button to press. Add existing. Hello! I am awkwardly large and in charge. We are not doing that. We're going to shrink this down a little bit. I appreciate you guys vibing and hanging out with me. Oh, look at that. Now we're in business. We're absolutely cooking right now. We're going to kind of trim the corners, cut this down a little bit. We're going to be out here in the Z space. It's actually not Z space at all. I lied to you. Nikon, move this over a little bit. All right, so these are the jackets. These are the vibes. If anyone's interested, literally this right here, sickest jacket ever. I'm not even kidding. Sickest jacket. This is going to be up to 40% off right now. It's got these extra pockets on top. It's got pockets here. It's got pockets inside the pockets. It's got zips. This jacket is incredible. Underrated. My favorite jacket to wear. Underrated AF. Also, we got some hoodies, some accessories, some t-shirts, and merino wool socks. Absolute banger. Everything on this side is on sale. So check out Shop BENETEK. It's linked down in the description, and it is pinned in our chat. So we're going to be vibing, hanging out. If you guys got questions, let me know. And is it still echoing? No. Boom. Fix. Okay. I was like concerned. If you guys got questions, let me know. We're going to be hanging out, vibing for a bit. So definitely say what's up. Say what's up. We're going to be hanging out. Also, we got, let's see. We got a bunch of people in here. What's up, dudes? Yeah, I'm going to try to get more consistent about some live streams, some vibing and hanging out and stuff. I've been kind of dropping the ball, to be honest. But jacket is a shell, right? Yeah, Justin, I'm a massive fan of shells because you can wear it in the fall, like right now, November. In the middle of the winter, you can throw a puffy jacket underneath. And then in the springtime, you can also like wear it as well. And then they have like pit zips and they're like meshless. So that maximizes airflow. I'm a massive fan. They are a shell. They're like freaking dope. Do I ship to Europe? Yes. Absolutely. You will see that there are going to be some duty charges that is automatically up front when you process. So that is going to be there. But yeah, we absolutely ship to international. Absolutely. Absolutely. Joseph, what up, dog? Dude, I've been watching your videos the last couple of months now, and I went to Winter Park and learned to turn on my first day and then get stop on both sides. Dude, no way. That's freaking sick. Let's go. Hello. Hi, brother. Proud of you. Your sister. Hello, Ashley. How are you? I hope you're having a good Thanksgiving coming up and the kids are doing well. Do I ship to Europe? Yes, we do. Yes, we do. What do I think of the phase bindings? I would say my phase thoughts processes on bindings. I haven't tried them yet. I'm definitely not super sure about them. I would say that they could be cool. I don't struggle with strapping in, so I'm not like trying to trim off like 2 more seconds, 3 more seconds of like strapping in. So I don't think it's, to me, it's like that, not that big of a deal, but hope you're good. Kids are good. Chloe, 7 weeks. That's incredible. The boys say hello. 7 weeks already. It's been 7 weeks. That's insane. It's crazy how time goes by. That's crazy. Let's see. Yeah, the jackets look cool. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, super stoked. Super stoked on those jackets. Super stoked on like some of the stuff we're doing for next year. But I'm super stoked on these like hoodies right now. They just like waterproof. Like they feel so good, so comfortable. I'm like super proud where they've come, where they're going. I'm super stoked on all that. How is the hip? I feel like I'm dealing with a pelvic fracture. No way. A skier hit you? No way. That's gnarly. Yeah, as far as the hip, it's okay. I'm still struggling to like snowboard and to walk and to move, and I snowboard for a couple hours and then I go home because it hurts. But I'm like in this like fine weird spot where like I'm excited and optimistic that I'm still snowboarding, but I'm super frustrated that after 10 years I'm still snowboarding. Jason, 23 months, dude. That is insane. Let's go. What's up, Tommy? Glad to see you live. Let's have a great season this year. Big shout out to the boy. Dude, Jason, almost 2 flipping years. You're a GOD. I think I need to change like some of the emoji thingies on top of it. Because we're getting some people that have been here for a while, and I really appreciate you all doing that. Have I been to Albin's to ride? I have not. I have not been there yet. One of these days I will go there, but I've not been there. One of these days for sure. It's been one of those things like it's so hard to leave Colorado because Colorado is so good when it's good, right? So, and then in like sometimes in the spring times when there's like this massive competition called USASA Nationals, and it's like if you're not participating in the event, it is miserable to be there, to be honest. So then I just leave, and that's kind of like anywhere else is better. But I was thinking about doing like a Mammoth trip this year. Do I ever come to California to ride? Speaking of, thinking about doing a California trip because I usually go to like Big Sky. But I think if we did like a Big Sky and then made our way over through like a couple of the spots along the way through like Idaho and then into California, maybe even like Oregon and back down to Cali. I love Mammoth late season. Absolutely the best time ever. Super fun. Such a good vibe. I really enjoy Mammoth like a lot. Like Mammoth is super cool. Super, super cool. Type in the chat where do you ride? What is your home mountain? And what is your dream place to go ride? That's really a good question. Because like my dream place to go ride, honestly, would be like Alaska, heli riding, some of the craziest, steepest, gnarliest stuff. Sounds super fun. But where would you go? Let's see. Jack, what up, dude? I want to learn to snowboard, and I'm watching your videos and how you move and listening to your advice. I will try it when I go my ski trip. Thank you so much for your educational videos. Let's go. Yeah, it's interesting enough. I started doing some non-educational content, and they have performed terribly. And I say like one like kind of gauge that I have is I let my wife watch my video, and then she's like, oh, this is boring or this is good. And I'm like, okay, cool. And then she's like, oh my gosh, that last video you posted was like incredible. And I was like, thanks. And then it absolutely did terrible. So I was thinking about starting a second channel to put more entertainment content on, entertainment snowboard content, and then some of the educational stuff will just stay on the main channel. So I don't know what I'm going to do about that yet, because I don't know if I really want to invest like all the time into another channel, because I'm already like spread thin as it is. But I don't know. I was like kind of bummed because I thought it was a really good video and people were like, yeah, we don't care. I was like, oh, well, it is what it is, right? Let's see. Justin, going to Colorado for the first time this season. Loveland and Wolf Creek. Dude, that's going to be fun. Colorado is an absolute vibe. I'm a massive fan. I've been here a long time. I moved to Oregon for a couple years and now I'm back, and I could have gone anywhere, and I just love Colorado. Like, I'm just an absolute fan of Colorado. You're going to have a great time. Let's see. Mammoth is only 60 minutes from me, but in the winter, it takes 7 hours to get there because of the drive around there. Oh, so you're on that pass where, like, during the dirt road, as a crow flies, you're like this, but then you have to go like this. Back in the day when I was working for this coaching program out in Oregon, this guy had like booked a accommodation, kind of what you're talking about. It's like, oh, it's only an hour away or 30 minutes away right here. But in the winter, that road's closed. And come to find out, he spent like $4,000 on accommodation, and it was 6 hours away or something. And it was like, oh, and they only gave him like 50% of his money back. And it was like such a bummer, because it's like an easy mistake to make. But if you know Mammoth, then you know not to make that mistake. But it's like easy to make, you know what I mean? I traveled 6 to 8 hours to the Alp 5 to 8 times per season. Dream is to go to Japan, but Ensberg in Switzerland and Austria. Honestly, Japan is incredible. I had a really good time in Japan. I want to go back, but I was thinking about doing a Europe trip this year. My buddy really is honestly trying to do a Europe trip, and he's like, yo, we should go. And I was like, yeah, I'll probably go. And especially when you have like some points where I can get some flights and get some stuff going, that's going to make things a lot easier. So get some points and some flights, like, makes it happen. Crystal Mountain is my home place to ride. I've never been to Crystal, but I've heard great things about Crystal for sure. I've heard great things. Yeah, I've never been there. There's definitely a lot of places I want to go to. There was this map I saw on Instagram that was like the most efficient way to travel to all 48 states. Maybe it's 48 states. And I was like, oh, that's like a really good idea. And you hit like all the major cities like on the way. I think it'd be really cool to do that for like 3-4 weeks, just like kind of drive and vibe and kind of see a lot of things. I think that'd be fun. But I wonder if there's like a most efficient map to hit like every resort in Colorado or every resort in the United States. Like, it would probably be inefficient, but the most efficient, right? I think that'd be really fun to like hit every resort, because there's like such cool small mom and pop shop or mom and pop kind of like places, but at the same time, it's kind of hectic, and it'd probably be really expensive because you'd have to get like a new lift ticket for every resort, and some of those resorts are wild. And technically we couldn't do them all as snowboarders because we'd miss some of the skier only places. Hit you up for some Waco for some tips in Europe, dude. Tips in Europe. Yeah, what's your thoughts? Like Italy. What else I was gonna say? Italy and where else? Like Austria. I think that some of those places would be super cool. The camera looks good. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, I don't know what happened when I was first logging on, and I've been trying to get ready and set up for like 20 minutes before this. Live stream is supposed to start, and the whole thing looked good on my end, but then on that, it like on the screen, it was like absolutely blown out. So I was like, WTF. And then I like set up like a new monitor. So I'm like looking at chat like up above. So it looks like, where are you looking? I'm not looking at the roof, but I'm looking at like the screen. And then I have like my computer monitor, and I can like move it down in front of the screen or in front of the camera and move it up when I need to do like streams and stuff. So I'm like pretty hyped on that. But I honestly like love the sign. Big shout out to the wifey for getting me this sick BENETEK sign. Super hyped on that. I'm trying to figure out what to do with like the white background. Not super hyped on that. And then I have this stuff here just for like the Black Friday stuff going on, but I don't have like really much other stuff. And like I said, we do have some incredible Black Friday deals going on. Check them out. We literally have like goggles on sale, tech hoodies on sale, riding hoodies on sale, last year gear. You can pick up a last year's gear for literally $94.50. We have some older stuff. We also have t-shirts on sale. We have some hats. These hats are super sick. It's the one I'm wearing right now, which is going to be this one. That one's 30% off. Hats, like normal hats, beanies, neck tubes, all this stuff. Like literally we got it freaking going. So if you guys are interested in picking up any stuff, absolutely check out Shop BENETEK. It's in the description. If you guys are interested in picking up some stuff, pick it up. We also have this thing called the exclusive collection. This is literally one of ones. So if you ever get this jacket, like the one that's behind, like right here, if you get this jacket, no one in the world is gonna have that jacket. No one in the world is gonna have this jacket. This jacket is no longer available. Actually, it is. Never mind. I was just kidding. That one's available. It's a different one that got sold. That one's available. These are all available. If they're on the site, they're available. There are normally 225. They're for 180 right now. Camouflage. This one's pretty cool. This one is pretty sick. It's got like this little like texture on it. I like it. It's kind of like a claw. This one's got some like cool texture on it. So all these are literally like one of ones. No one in the world is gonna have this jacket. Not even this guy who's modeling it. Big shout out to my dude Garrett. We all sorts of stuff. Here's like another that same pattern. I don't know how this one's still available. This is my favorite one in the entire world. I think it looks so sick, so dope. I don't know what is happening. Classic, just a nice hoodie that's a different color. So if you guys are interested, shopbenetek.com or check out the link that it's pinned. We're vibing. We're vibing. All right, what else we got? You guys got any other snowboard questions? Let me know. Whoa. Where are you going? Where are you going? Sorry. Disconnected. Not really. Let's see. Hit me up for some tips. Got it. Keystone is a very beautiful place. Yes, Keystone is absolutely insane. Keystone's like the absolute like best place for snowboarding early season. Like the snowmaking, the snow itself, the amount of available terrain they have, like as soon as it can, like they do a really good job of getting things up and running. I'm pretty stoked on it. Pretty stoked. That one right here, Mr. Zach. Let's go, dude. Let's go. Yeah, that one has been flying off the shelves on I like every time somebody buys something, I have a notification. I'm like, ooh, yeah, okay, that one for sure. Yeah, that one's been that one was a vibe for sure. That one's vibe. We've changed the hoods on this a little bit. We changed the zippers on like some of the new stuff, which I'm really excited about. And then but the structure of the jacket is pretty much the same, just a couple small little tweaks, which I'm pretty pumped on. Because like every year it's like, oh, these look really nice, and then it's like, okay, how do we make them like a little bit better, a little bit better, a little bit better, like so. And I'm like been really stoked on this because they're like casual, a little bit more like lightweight material with the same performance, but like a little bit more soft. It's like, oh, it's been like such a vibe, such a vibe. But like I said, while you guys are here, if you guys have snowboard questions, let me know because I'm definitely down to hang out, vibe, answer some snowboard questions. The season has literally been off to like an interesting start, but at the same time, it is what it is. I ride Colorado all the time. And here at Keystone is like I end up getting the 2 different passes, allowing me to just try to go where it's good, right? So Keystone's been really good, especially with like early season riding, 3.5-mile run. But I've enjoyed the sun. A lot of people are like, dude, there's no snow. I'm like, you're right. But sunny days are sunny days. I love like, give me a good sunny day vibe out there. Like I truly enjoy that a lot. So sun's been really good. That's been good. And then today being like the more of the start to the holiday season, yesterday, Monday, today, Tuesday was like starting to get absolutely wild on the mountain, which I kind of find super fun because it's just like you're kind of riding and vibing and it's like kind of like sketchy, but it's like defined as like sketchy fun. You know what I mean? Like it's sketchy out there, but like if you're going really slow, it's sketchy because everyone's flying by you. But if you're in control and you're kind of the aggressor, you definitely like have a safer time it's so fun. It's like dodging cars in the Matrix type thing. You're like, it's wild. Yep. Yeah, I just spilled. Yep. That's happened. But I would say that I was talking to one of my friends. I was like, oh, I want to make a video where we like race from the top of the mountain to the bottom of the mountain as fast as you can. We have to do like 10 things on the way down. You have to like ride switch for X amount of time. You have to do a backside 360. You have to do a cartwheel. You have to do a front 360. You have to try to do something, right? You have all these tasks while trying to go as fast as possible all the way down the mountain, which is like, what? So that'd be super fun. But then he's like, yeah, you might lose your pass. I was like, that's probably a good point. Walker, what up, dude? Hey, Tommy, just discovered you recently on my feed and been following along on your videos. Let's go, dude. I love that. It's going to be my first time going snowboarding on the slopes this winter. No way, dude. You're going to love it. I would say just like, if you don't mind unsolicited advice right here, But I mean, you kind of signed up for it, right? But I would say, yeah, if you could take a lesson, dress warm, and at the end of the day, just have some fun. I think that's gonna be like really sick. Just having some fun, some vibing, like it's a good time. Snowboarding is incredible. I will warn you, in the beginning of snowboarding, it tends to be a bit more challenging in the beginning, but in the long run, it's pretty fun and pretty doable. Pretty fun, but pretty doable for sure. So welcome aboard, and excited to have you along, man. I can't wait for you to start ripping it and having a good time. Dude, I started snowboarding 50 years ago. 380 and 6 feet. I started snowboarding like 20 years ago, so I totally feel like you've been at it a long time. 15 years is a long time. 15 years is sick. You've probably experienced a lot of stuff. I already got my pass recently. I can't wait for the snow to be up here in the northern Utah. What do you ride in northern Utah? My girl's family is out in Utah as well, so I ended up riding like Woodward Park City or Woodward Park City or Park City. I've been to quite a few different places out there. Like Utah's a vibe. For some reason, I like Colorado, and Utah's super fun, but I'm like, I don't know if it's home, but yeah, Park City's super awesome. Park City's got a lot of terrain, good vibes, super mellow terrain in the beginning for you to learn as like a beginner, which is gonna be great. And you already got your pass, so like go like 5 to 10 times. You're definitely gonna be able to justify your pass, which is nice. So yeah, you're gonna have a great time. If you ever get lessons, try to ask for, or not try to, ask for like a highly certified snowboard instructor. There's like a certification process. A lot of times you may get like an instructor who just learned how to snowboard instruct yesterday. So I would definitely like try to get somebody who's as qualified as possible just to like expedite your process. Cause like, that's like, it's a better deal. Oh yeah, isn't it crazy seeing all the snow in Colorado? Yeah, it's like right there. Crazy. And it's funny because like I post stuff on my Instagram story and it's like, holy cow, it's so dirt and gnarly, but then the runs are actually holy snow. So it's like such a weird contradiction out there. But at least we got some runs. But it's crazy. And I usually go to Utah. I usually do like a trip in the kind of later part of the season with like big snow, and then we'll do like big snow, Targhee, down to Jackson Hole, and then we end up in Utah. And then depending on kind of how it goes, sometimes my girlfriend or wife will drive from Colorado to Utah. I'm driving from Montana to Utah, and then we'll meet and then drive back. So I usually do that. I might be in Utah actually a couple times this year. I'm trying to do some snowboard camps out there. Hopefully I can get those like running soon. That'd be super fun. But yeah, dude, Park City's cool. It's a good vibe, good energy, mellow terrain, but then the steep terrain when you need it. Usually I do these live streams and it like wrecks my voice, but that's all good. And then you're actually even in Montana right now. Are you serious? What a small world, right? You're like, oh, Montana. Montana's like a vibe. There's this place up there called Big Sky, and it's like this massive resort. It's super fun. But I usually go there when it's like kind of the end of the season, when it's like maybe not the best quality of snow. And then sometimes we'll be like, oh, we're gonna go to dinner. And we walk into my buddy has a place on the actual resort. And so we'll literally like walk from like his house to the resort, and it's like 5-minute walk, and we'll grab a restaurant or eat. And it's literally like, oh, it's raining. And we're like, what? It's raining? And then it's, they're supposed to be open for another month. It's crazy for sure. Do you use some protection for knees while snowboarding? Actually, I do not. I have a buddy hooking me up with some protection for like shoulders, back, elbows, like kind of like a upper body suit. Because when I was 17, I did break my back, and then I started wearing a back protector, but a lot of them are super uncomfortable. So then you're like, I probably would have not crashed, but this gear caused a problem for me to crash. So then I stopped wearing them. So now if I crash, there's no protection. So moral of the story, I don't wear anything, but I'm going to try some stuff. I know this guy who wears like shin protectors and knee protectors, and he like vouches. He says it's like the greatest thing ever, especially if you're getting into park and riding rails, which I think is probably a good idea. I just haven't gone down that road. I used to wear butt pads and back protector, but right now I'm wearing nothing. So yeah, a lot of them are just like not that comfortable. And when they're not comfortable, you're not going to wear them. And that's kind of what happened to me. They're not comfortable, not wearing them. But it's definitely a good idea in theory, for sure. For sure. And then what passes did you guys get, and Where else are you guys riding at? I've been to like Big Sky and Targhee and Jackson Hole and like a couple places in Utah, but there's like a bajillion different places I haven't been to. I did go to like Czech Republic and Turkey like back in the day, but it's hard. Sometimes hard to travel. It's expensive, you know. You're like for me, it's like, do I go on a trip or do I invest in more like inventory of like jackets and stuff? And I'm like, ah. So I've definitely like been really putting my energy into the investment of inventory more than anything. But yeah, I'm just gonna check one thing real quick. Hello? Okay. Just checking this, checking a little audio thing, make sure we're not having some issues. Then France would be cool. I really want to go to France. I think that'd be super fun. The Alps and stuff, like Chamonix. I think that'd be super rad. Okay, we got a good question. Mega, what up, my dude? Hey, Tommy, what are some good ways to practice for spins at home? Trying to work on those more this season. I would honestly like get your snowboard strapped in on your carpet at home in a safe place where there's not a bunch of dangerous objects around. And then it's really about, you could do like backside 90s, backside 180s, go to backside 270, try to do backside 360s or front side. I would do that. And sometimes you can find the right surface where you can spin and then do like flat spins on the ground too, depending on the carpet and the friction. But the biggest thing is understanding how to wind up your lead shoulder and really open up and close it. Most people struggle with like, imagine you're trying to hit a home run with a baseball and you take your bat and you bunt it. Well, no way you're going to get a big home run, or the equivalent of snowboarding would be like a big spin with a bunt. Because you're just like, right? It's just not going to happen. But what you really want to do is get a big spine wind up, the arms wind up, everything wound up. And then when you throw, you really throw the bat, not throw it, but swing, and then you follow through. Same thing applies for snowboarding. You really want to wind up, throw, get that wind up going. Because if you're trying to really drive it out of the back shoulder, it doesn't really work. If you're trying to drive it out of the legs, it doesn't work. And most snowboarders, when they're doing like freestyle, trying to get any kind of spins, they're trying to drive it out of their turn, which is not a good idea because you're essentially slamming on the brakes. But you're trying to like allow that wind up the spine to generate the momentum and the power. So I just do that at home. I do that at home. There are like, trying to think of, but like the goal is to find something with like least amount of friction so you can actually like spin it around. I did go to like Lowe's, or like for me it's Lowe's, but like, Home Depot. You can literally get like AstroTurf, go outside, put it on like some grass with the AstroTurf there, get some water, spray some water on it, and then practice that same thing where you're like throwing it and trying to like continue the spin. There are some like flat ground surfaces for like flat ground Japanese inspired riding. The challenge with that is it's expensive. Yo, car wreck, let's go. What's up, dude? I appreciate you hopping in, man. It's been a while, been a minute. Absolute freaking legend. What exercises do I do to be fit for snowboarding? There's kind of two thoughts on it. One would be like a lot of like core and a lot of squatting, front squats, back squat, kettlebell squat, even like stiff-legged deadlifts or deadlifts in general. Something that's going to be really good for like your core stability as well as your leg power. I think that's really important. The one like brutal, honest truth is it's really hard to substitute snowboard fitness. Like, let's say I went to the gym all summer, high intensity CrossFit, high intensity plyometrics, everything. For the first 3 weeks of my season, I'm always sore, always fatigued, because it's really hard to replicate those same functions on your snowboard. So I would think about getting like, maybe it's not necessarily fitness for snowboarding. I would kind of, the more realistic thought process of gym for snowboarding is injury prevention. You're going to get stronger. You're going to let your muscles be able to handle a bigger impact, a bigger crash, a bigger fall. You're going to let those tendons get stronger. Those things are like what truly is going to be beneficial in the gym for snowboarding, but snowboard fitness, you just got to snowboard. Snowboarding, like increasing performance, is 90% skill, 99% skill. The time snowboard fitness comes into play, in my opinion, is like you're super, super, super overweight and you can't snowboard more than 50 feet. Then that's when the snowboard fitness really comes into play of like, okay, I lost 30, 40, 50 pounds. Now I can actually go snowboard longer. That's where that fitness would come in. That's just my opinion. I'm kind of like maybe a little, not jaded, but I'm a little bit, try to be like hyper realistic of like, where is the benefit of the gym? It's really about like, I can truly like take crashes and fall and just charge. It's not going to actually make me a better snowboarder. Snowboarding makes you a better snowboarder. Not to be discouraging, just to be realistic. I've been working on actually recently lower body and all about balance. Heck yeah, man, that's super fun. And core is like fun as well. Fun for sure. I used to love doing wildcats and everything in backflips, but now in the 40s and I'm hesitant and don't want to go or get cooked and land weird and make a bomb hole. Are my side hit days counted? I totally get what you're saying because I'm kind of in the same boat too. I'm 37. I love snowboarding. The amount of tricks that I've lost is insane. But then I'm also like evaluating like risk over reward, right? Is it worth me hitting that 80-foot jump now for what? No one cares. It's not going to get me likes and follows online. No one cares that I hit a big jump. It's literally like for my own satisfaction or validation. And like, is it worth that risk? Doing backflips and stuff. Like, I really love doing backflips, even though I hate them and they're scary. I think there's a time and a place. But for me, it's like my body's starting to deteriorate, especially on my hip. And I can see it in my snowboarding when I watch my videos. Like, my snowboarding's gotten worse because my hip doesn't work the correct way. And that's annoying. But I think just finding like other ways, Waco, to challenge yourself, I think that's going to be important. Like, okay, I'm going to now just be like an absolute god at riding switch, or put a lot of times in riding switch, make you feel productive, and then switch 50-50, switch carving. Like, there's like ways to challenge yourself, and maybe it's more technical terrain, maybe steeper terrain. There's ways to challenge you, so you're like, oh, I don't backflip anymore, but man, I do this blank. It's kind of what I'm getting into these days. Is like, I'm going to start transitioning into like more steep, gnarly, backcountry-ish kind of stuff. And that sounds really fun and exhilarating and crazy and sketchy and fun and kind of like get me nervous and excited and exhilarated without... There is consequences for sure, depending on how you do it, but it's not that same kind of consequence, if that makes sense. I think a backflip, pretty wild. Park riding, pretty wild. My hip doesn't like it. But if I did like backcountry, low-key backcountry, not avalanche-prone stuff, better. David, yeah, right? Walker. Yeah, absolutely, just like shred the gnar and then just cook the legs. Not a bad plan for sure. Not a bad plan. Not a bad plan at all. Yeah. Like I said, I wasn't trying to be negative about the like working out stuff. I like to set like appropriate expectations because I see, you know, and I've been guilty on myself and I've definitely kind of like changed my own perspective of it. It's like, oh, if I see this all the time where there's like a fitness account that's like, oh, if you do these 10 exercises in the gym, you're going to be a better snowboarder. And then you watch their snowboarding and they're not good at snowboarding. Like, from somebody who's hypercritical of my own snowboarding, who's been a competitive athlete for a long time and who's coached gnarliest athletes ever. Like, my job is to be very hypercritical of movements. And you're like, oh, I go to the gym and I do all this stuff. And then I watch your snowboarding and I'm like, that gym is not helping your snowboarding. Like, your advice is not coming true on your own stuff. But I'm also not trying to just be a hater. So I just, you know what I mean? It's like, where's that tiptoe, that line? Because, like, I just want people to get better, but I also want you to, like, have... What I don't want people to do is get hyper disappointed because I did these 10 exercises in the gym and I go snowboarding and I'm not any better. I'm like, yeah, that's not a translatable skill. I want people to be realistic and just know, like, hey, yeah, if you want to get better at snowboarding, you got to snowboard. Correct your body positions, develop the skill, increase your balance. Definitely helps. Definitely helps a lot. Definitely helps a lot. What do you guys think so far of like the lack of snow? Do you guys care? Do you like super powder hound kind of people into the chat, or are you I don't care, I like sun, or I don't care, I'm just gonna snowboard anyways of the conditions. Where are you guys at with that thought process? Because for me, I love the sun. I, at the same time, if my hip wasn't aggravated, I would snowboard every day. But because my hip's like upset, then it's like, because my hip's upset, then I'm like, I'm probably gonna take off like cloudy days and just kind of like rest the hip. Yo, Mr. Calvin, what's up, dog? Yo, Tommy, long time no see. Exactly, dude. Let's go. That jacket, the one of one, is so sick. I'm so pumped on that. I'm late for the stream. Dude, we were late for the stream too. I showed up like 10 minutes late. Also, I didn't let anybody know that I was doing this live stream, so big shout out to you for having post notifications on. For some reason, all my post notifications on my own content on YouTube are not on for some reason, but I appreciate the membership. And 2 years, bro, are you serious? 2 years, 23 months, almost 2 years, to be exact. Thanks, Straight Prep Talk. Yeah, doing a lot more steep, slack, country, border cross for fun. Knees hate doing impact, big tricks, and the pelvis fracture burns me out. Exactly. It's like, how do you find a way to challenge yourself, make it engaging and fun? And that's also the beauty of snowboarding, is that there's so many different things to do, so many different like things, right? There's so much out there that it's like nice to have at least those options for challenging yourself. Seg says, riding anyways, but want some damn snow. Yeah, I back that. Sunny days are the best, right? It's such a double-edged sword because, like, snowy days are such a vibe, but also the more snow we have, the more terrain is open. And I was at Keystone today, and Calvin May can attest to this. It was insane. It's like the first holiday break. People are excited, and there's like kind of like technically 2 runs at like, I mean, there's a lot of runs at Keystone, but it's really like you get off the chairlift and go left, go to the chairlift and go right. And then while you're going down that, there's like a little spot that kind of goes like, so it's technically another run, but it's not like another run, right? So then it's like, one of those things where like Keystone's been super fun, but we need snow to open some stuff up. So if we had more stuff open, that'd be absolutely like super, super dope. Quick intermission. By the way, Black Friday sales going on right now. If you guys are interested, supporting the content, getting some incredible gear, we have stuff right now. Link down in the description, linked in the chat, up to 50% off right now. Black Friday deal, 20% off all this year's gear, 20% off this year's gear, 20% off these one-of-one exclusive jackets. And we're also doing, what do we got? 40% off these jackets. They are so incredible. I'm making these, like the reality is I'm putting these on such a discount because I need people in these jackets so they can experience how amazing they are. You need to experience them. They're incredible. These are also going to be less than $100. They're 50% off. These are old inventory. These are last year. They're awesome. They need to go. I'm trying to get them out so I can afford to pay for more new stuff. We're going to revamp these jackets right here to some really awesome stuff, but the price is going to go up next year because we're making them way, 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 way more awesome. And then as far as we're going to be coming out with pants hopefully later this week and next week. Also, this stuff is super cool. This is like new zippers, improved design. This is new design. 20% off this stuff. This also helps me get more just ability to make some more cool stuff. So if you guys are interested in picking up some stuff, this is absolutely the time to do it. Last year, we didn't put any of our new stuff on sale. This year we are, so check that out. Also, big shout out to me. I spent so much flipping time trying to make this website look better. And so hopefully you're proud of the website and you like it. But yeah, big shout out to that. Get yourself some sick gear. I've spent almost 30 years snowboarding. I've tried a lot of gear, and I'm literally making gear with like the thought process of making your skiing and snowboard experience better. There's literally a pocket for your ski pass. Boom, pocket for your pass. So like, let's say I go snowboarding. I have a Keystone and Epic Pass, or I got my credit card and my ski pass. Like having those, also pit zips. Super sick. Boom. So all sorts of sick features designed to make it as awesome as possible. Pick some stuff up. Appreciate that. Now getting back to the chickadee chat. Finally snowed up here in Whistler. Seriously, Reject? Let's go, dude. That's super sick. I haven't been to Whistler in a couple years. My buddy and I were talking about going possibly this year. He said he had a friend in Whistler. And he's like, you want to go? And I was like, yeah, that sounds good. Yo, Rock, what up, dog? So I don't know Celsius, but the way that I structure it is I wear just this hoodie and a t-shirt from about 40 degrees, no, like let's say 50 degrees to 30 degrees Fahrenheit. From 30 degrees to 5 degrees, I'll wear this and I'll put a puffy jacket underneath it. If it's 0 degrees or below, I have like a big puffy jacket that I wear, and I would not wear this. So that's where I'm at with that. What size hoodie do I wear in the videos? I wear a medium, and I'm 5'5" and 135 pounds. This morning, 134.9, but who's counting? So I wear a medium, and I do design these to be slightly big so that you could put a puffy jacket underneath in case it's cold out. So you're not restrictive. The last thing I'm trying to do is design gear that's restrictive. I want it to have like the flow and the vibe and the feeling to like do what you want while still being able to layer. So I wear a medium. It would be sick, Rejects, if I go to Whistler. Yeah, I've been there twice. I've had some incredible times there. But yeah, I don't remember who moved there. So I have a friend that moved there. I thought about, there's like this is a certification process that I thought about doing. And I thought about going there just for fun. I should look that up and just go book a trip to Whistler just for like a weekend or something. Just sounds kind of fun. Go flight, vibe. Maybe I'll do it in January where the price is a little bit better. That could be cool. Kind of go. And it'd be kind of fun to like connect with new people and go vibe and that kind of stuff. Perfect. Thanks, L, for me then. Yeah, cool. Like I said, best time to get one. And then just so you know, on the different cuts, like these cuts they're a little bit more straighter cut like this, and they do have like an anorak jacket, anorak zipper to get in and out of, where this cut has a little bit more of like a little bit different shape to it. There's a little bit more wideness in this part, like in the armpits. And then it has this cinch down here, elastic cinch and elastic here. It still has cinches inside to make it more tight, but it does have like the aesthetics of a hoodie. And then the pockets, there's a pocket here and then a separate pocket here, which I've been putting like a selfie stick here and then my camera up here to keep it separate so the lenses don't get scratched. So just know the difference. And then these ones are super cool. Traditional jacket. There's pockets here. There's pockets inside. They're like literally the sickest things. Like big fan. And there's also pockets for the ski pass on the front hand and the back hand or the left and right. So they're designed for ski, snowboard. Awesomeness. Wait, you to be certified. You want it? I'm assuming you want to be certified in a different states. I have certifications in Colorado, but there's a different certification process over in Canada, and I wanted to check theirs. I think it's CASI, something like that. I wanted to go just learn about their system and start from like maybe Cert 1 and just kind of get to know it. Yeah, CASI, exactly. I wanted to learn like Cert 1 through, I don't know if I'm going to go all the way through it. Just kind of depends. I would do it more for entertainment, more for fun, and more to learn from a different perspective. I think an American system has its flaws, but it also has its amazing like benefits. So I think like having a more versed kind of opinion just to like learn would be really smart for me. And then when I'm like retiring from all the content, I wanted to do my own certification and just rival the American one and just come in and disrupt the market and just cause some problems. I think it sounds fun because I think at the end of the day, disrupting the market and having competition in the certification realm would be healthy because who benefits at the end? The customer, the snowboarder, the instructors who are trying to like make a living snowboarding. And if we could make it a better experience, increase the conversion rates of how many people actually try snowboarding and stay snowboarding. Vail Resorts did a financial report last year. And fun facts for you all. The average, there's about 75 million skier visits in North America total between ski, snowboard, everything, who visits the resort. As a industry, 5.5% of the industry take a lesson. It's only 5.5 people out of 100 that visit the resort. We're going to take a lesson. Now, very resorts is a little bit higher at 6.5, but still 6.5% of people take lessons. And there's many factors that are, many factors with that. But I just think like culturally, the better you are at snowboarding, the more fun you have. So if I can make you better at snowboarding, you're going to stay in the industry, which is better for snowboarding, right? So if we can increase the amount of people that enter the sport, as well as convert whoever came to the sport and actually stay in the sport, is huge. I don't know the exact conversion rate of how many people actually try snowboarding and stick with it, but it's extremely low. So I think having a better system of getting knowledge across and having it fun and accessible for snowboarders and skiers to stay in the sport is just good for the sport, right? That's like kind of the long-term goal, is just to help the sport stay alive, right? Contribute to the success of the sport long-term by also trying to get people to like stay, right? And that's what's been cool about like the online stuff, is like hopefully my content allows somebody to be like, I'm gonna watch this video. Oh, that was fun. I'm gonna go back tomorrow and go back tomorrow and go back tomorrow. Let's see. Snow is usually better up here in February. In March. Oh, in Whistler? Yeah, for sure. For sure. I never went snowboarding before. Do you think I'll be able to do a backflip after a week? I'm going on vacation with my girlfriend's parents. Okay. I don't have a direct answer for you, but I have some thoughts for you. If you're extremely athletic and you can do a backflip standing, the hardest part is not the backflip. The hardest part is for you to go down the hill to be able to hit a jump, right? I'm not going to name names, but I knew this dude who was a professional football player who was extremely athletic. Not to dog on him, super incredible guy. He was less experienced in snowboarding and kind of struggled to make some turns, and going through the trees was a challenge, and kind of going fast was the challenge, okay? We built him a jump. He wanted to backflip. He could kind of get to the jump, but once he got there, if he could make it, he got there, he could backflip and get to his feet. Then it was going back to like, oh, he wasn't able to like snowboard good enough to like land and ride away, but he could backflip. So the moral of the story is, if you're extremely athletic, it's very doable. But one part of the story that's like kind of a nice asterisk that's extremely important is we built him a jump into a POW landing, and if he landed on his neck, he was safe. I don't recommend going to a park and trying it because it's really firm, and it's like you're going to land flat. And let's say the first time you kind of get it around, it's going to be, it's just not going to be good, right? So like the two things you're really trying to find is like, one, being able to link your turns, be able to go sufficiently enough, and then a safe environment for a backflip, okay? So again, I don't know what your skill is. I definitely don't want you to just go like getting wrecked. Travis Pastrana, that dude is known for backflips, right? There was an old video called like, excuse me. There's an old video called like Mountain Lab 1 or Mountain Lab 2.0. I forget which one it is. Maybe it was bonusing. His only goal was to backflip, Travis Pastrana. So he gets on a snowboard. They have him hit a jump. He backflips and he lands in POW. It took him like 5 tries. So a lot there to break down, but is it doable? It could be doable if you're super athletic and you like are a god tier backflipper. If you're not a god tier backflipper, it's extremely hard. It's pretty challenging because not only are you dealing with speed and a new equipment and moving sideways and timing of a jump, catching air, getting lost in the air, landing. There's a lot of variables to manage. Calvin said, yeah, Keystone is hectic. Yeah, dude, it's so wild out there. I also kind of enjoy it, but my homie took me to Tahoe, parked on the road and hiked the mountain, and that's how I learned. That's sick. My dad did the same thing. He's like, went to the mountain and he said, here's your snowboard, go hike up, strap in and come down, you'll figure it out. I literally like figured it out on my own. And then I thought I was like, there's an insane snowboarder because I could go that way and I could go that way. Come to find out, I learned how to side slip like a hero, right? That's the kind of funny thing. Like, what is a toe side turn? It doesn't matter. I'm going to go that way and that way. And then the next day I went and took a lesson, cried because they're like, we're going to the chairlift. I'm like 8 years old. I'm like, what? I'm not going to the chairlift. That's scary. And they're like, but you can snowboard. I'm like, not at all. And we figured it out. It was fine. Eventually it was fine. looking back on it now as an instructor, yeah, it's kind of set up for failure because they had kids who had already been snowboarding. They put me in a lesson, have never snowboarded except for a couple hours before, like an hour before. And they're like, oh, yeah, you're fine. I'm like, probably wasn't fine, but I didn't die, so it's all right. And I really didn't take many lessons growing up. But we figured it out. Figured it out the hard way. But yeah, back to Whistler. Whistler is definitely like an absolute vibe. Their park's super cool. I heard their parks got run down a bit, Reject. They said that the Whistler Park is like not really a Whistler Park anymore. The Blackcomb Park's still Blackcomb Park, but they've kind of slowed some stuff down. Is that true? Because that Whistler side of the park was insane. Super fun, super progressive, super intermediate, super sick. Like those jumps at the bottom before like the rollers were so good. I also probably want to go vibe with the Snowboard Addiction guys. That could be super fun. The big park is on the Blackcomb side. What about like the full Whistler Park though? Because Whistler had it wasn't a big park, it was an intermediate park. Did it get, the baby parks on that side, did it get reduced in overall size, or is it still what it was 5, 6, 7 years ago? Pre-Vail Resorts taken over? Question mark. Because, yeah, that's like the unfortunate part. Yeah, speaking of backflips, you got any tips on a wildcat? I can barrel roll now because of some of the tips you gave me, but I can't wildcat. Wildcat, small tangent, my switch wildcat is significantly better than my regular wildcat because my regular wildcat, on like a true wildcat, you're trying to like, your shoulders, hips, and knees all stay in like a stacked position. And then when you flip, it's like perfectly this way. What I do is I go like this. Now, because my shoulder opened up, I rotated, which is LAME. So then like what I've done is I've taken like my back hand, and as I like go to flip, I'll take my back hand behind my back knee and go like this. That kind of helps, like if I hold the behind my knee, it makes it harder for me to rotate the shoulder. I would say that's 1. 2 is just make sure you're really timing it, like patient pop, and then you're trying to do like a reverse oblique crunch. So the obliques are like this muscle, and then you're trying to go like this. You're trying to like squish your rib into your hip. And that's like the flip that makes it really easy. So once you like extend and you go, and then you're like, whoo. The other thought is doing mute grab while you're flipping. You take your lead hand between your bindings, because if your lead shoulder's open, it's really hard to grab mute. So if you grab mute, you can do wildcat more squared up. That's how you figured out skiing. Let's go. Yeah. And the Blackcomb side is sick. Excuse me. That pitch it's on is a little wild though. It's a little wild. Like you pick up speed quick. But it's probably better to pick up speed quick than not pick up speed at all. So definitely a good thing, but just a bit of an observation. Yeah, Whistler's cool. Whistler's gonna be wild though, because it could be raining at the bottom and then snowing at the top, or it could be like absolutely like just some wild weather, because it's like the vertical gain you gain on it is crazy. The vertical gain. Yep. Zorock says, thank you. I always open the shoulder, like you said, and landing on my back. That's another thing that's really hard about that trick in general, is that a lot of times, and I don't know if this is happening to you, but you open your shoulders, and now you're trying to spot the landing like this way, instead of allowing it to flip, and you gotta like really trust the fact that you're gonna go blind for like X amount of percentage of it, and you're just gonna have to trust it. There is a 1000% trust happening of like here, and I'm blind, and then eventually you see it. Where like my problem is I'm like trying to like look for the landing early, which causes me to like rotate and spin, which is not sick. So a couple pieces of advice in there with a backhand behind the knee, the lead hand to the binding, patience, oblique crunch, ear to shoulder. Out of all those, something in there is bound to like connect the dots. Snow is also heavier than probably what you're used to in Colorado. Oh, it's wild. So I lived in the Pacific Northwest out in Oregon. It's right. It like the water content is so dense on the snow that you could almost like push into the snow and then it builds pressure and it like pops you back. Where in Colorado, you kind of just like plow through it, right? So I've gotten used to it. I've spent 3 years riding that kind of snow, but the benefit of it, two good things about that kind of snow is you can really pressure it and start boosting really well. The second part of it is it helps your landings because it does allow you to compact and kind of cushion your landing a bit. Where in Colorado, you need a lot of snow. Let's say we had like 15 inches of snow. Well, a lot of times it's so fluffy that you're still hitting the bottom where you almost need more snow than that so that it has enough time to compact and save you, which is so weird. But just definitely like kind of different snow is super cool. Definitely benefits to each of them for sure. Calvin says, Tommy, I've always been working on my switch riding. Heel feels good. Toe side still scares me. I feel like I'm going to catch an edge and smack my head. Any tips? Don't do that. Okay. I would say the two things that without seeing you ride enough, especially switch riding, the two things that I think are going to help a lot is when you're doing a switch turn. And a lot of people don't do this in general, but when you're doing a switch turn, think about your hips are actually pressing forward. And then you can actually like be here. A lot of times when we ride switch, we're taking our hips and we're going this way. Now we're on our toes and it feels weird. But without seeing my ankle, if my hips are forward, it actually allows the heel side edge to be up higher. I can't see it, but essentially I'm going to be like on my toes a little bit more. And you can even do this experiment while you're standing here watching me. You can stand up, just press your hips forward and lean into a wall. You're going to feel your heels come off the ground. There's a window here, hopefully I don't break it. The heels come off the ground pretty big. The moment I drop my hips back, my heels touch the ground. I can't demonstrate that, but like literally either my heels are up or if I do this, my heels go boom. And then that's why you maybe feel like you're catching an edge. You feel like that heel side is there. It's probably because you're hunched down, and that's like a very common challenge. So I would say that on the toe side. And then the second part of that is just trying to keep that spine upright. And then if I want to get low, I can bend my knees. I think that's going to be like a big game changer. And then after that, it's still, instead of having your, and again, it's just all speculation here. If you're really working on that switch riding, you may be just subconsciously trying to like feel and see what's going on, and your eyes might just be going to the ground, right? So like if I were to be here and I naturally look down, what happens? I get into that hinge position just because I'm trying to see what my feet are doing. So it's more like, okay, my eyes need to be up, looking in the direction I'm going, and this is like snowboarding. The moment I'm like, oh, what's happening? It compromises body positions, especially when we're especially when we're like switch riding, trying to figure out how to switch ride. Calvin. Beginner area, Monday. Let me know. Thoughts, bro. Could be fun. These are great tips. Gonna give them a try next time. There's gonna be some POW and PA. Let's go, dude. Send. Let's go, dude. I love that. Oh, you're okay. You're actually looking where you're going. Great. What about the hip position? And again, it's all speculation based on like what most people do. So I'm trying to figure. Yeah, it could be good. Trying to figure out what you're most likely doing. Because like the cool thing about snowboarding is like your human body only moves in so many ways. So it's like one of three problems that are most likely the issue. And as a coach, that helps me identify like, okay, it's most likely I have a 33% chance of like what it's going to be, right? So us being able to like identify it here, it's probably a chance. Yo, Hug, what up, dog? Is it Hugo? Where are you going? When you say the indoor, where are you going? I'm curious, but dude, let's go. Running over the next few season. Dude, that's going to be sick. A new setup. It's going to be fun, man. That's going to be super awesome. I love to hear it. What do you believe is a good twin binding position for park progression? I typically run 15-0, but that was my first season. Interested to see a good position while maintaining stacked form. I'm a big fan of 12-12 or 15-15. I personally ride 15-15. I think it's what's nice about a symmetrical stance is theoretically my body's in the same position, and then it should feel theoretically the same as I go left and right. Now, there is naturally going to be some imbalances in your body anyways, let alone adding more imbalances from actually snowboarding because we strap in on chairlift and ride one-footed, blah, 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 blah. Let's see. I like 15-15 personally, but one thing to consider is like, where are your knees and are they comfortable, right? If your knees sometimes at 12-12 hurt or 15-15 hurt, but I like the idea of being symmetrical. Other thoughts is if you go over here, you go to this, if you go to my YouTube channel and you go to this search button, a fun fact is you can actually just search my snowboard channel alone, not everything on the internet, and just type in like stance. That's spelled wrong. Stance. Enter. And then when you type in stance, you're going to find something. Now, I recommend this. Are you kidding me? Maybe snowboard stance? There we go. Why is that? Okay, stance and angles, because I didn't actually have this in here. I maybe need to change that. This video right here, snowboard binding angles and board with breakdown. This one is actually a really cool video because I break down literally if you want to be park riding, mountain riding, carving, blah, blah, blah. And then I tell you exactly how to find your angles, your stance, recommends. That's a really good video. It performed pretty decent too. So that video was a vibe. I recommend checking that video out. That one's good. Yeah. Must watch snowboard turn in depth, skidded versus turn. That's actually a good video. Performed decent. Performed. You guys should go watch this one right here. 2,000 views. What? This one was such a fun video. I love that one. This one was also good too. You want to see me crash more than you ever see me crash? That video is a really good one. But I might start a second channel because these are like more entertainment, not educational, and they've performed terribly. So we shall see. We shall see. We shall see. Cool. 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 What else we got in here? By the way, link in bio. 50% off certain items. 20% off last year's gear. Check out shopbenetek.com. Let's go. Let's go. 3-3. Calvin, what it's going to end up doing when you're 3-3, and I'm going to try to do a little visualization. Ideally, when you're snowboarding, if you have more of a duck stance, it allows the hips to move a little bit more, which is actually going to make turns easier. It's going to make freestyle easier. When your angles are too forward, it just makes things a lot harder. I would recommend trying 12-12, even if you're not riding switch, but I would go 12-12, and you're going to have a bit more freedom in the mechanics of your hips and your spine, which is going to help you perform better carves, perform better tree riding, perform in the moguls better, perform better in the POW, because you're going to open up the hips and be able to do a little bit more range of motion. I have rode 0-0 for many years, and it was a game-changing, eye-opening experience when I was able to go more 12-12, 15-15. I used to ride 12-12, and then it hurt my knee, and that's why I bumped to 15-15. I don't really recommend going more. Good question. What is 12-12? Great question. So in the binding angles, we're going 12 degrees on the front foot and negative 12 degrees in the back foot so that your feet naturally stand like this. It's pretty rare if you're just like hanging out, kind of vibing, that your feet are perfectly straight. It is unlikely. It can happen based on the way your femurs come out of your hips. Maybe your hips are not rotated, they are, but a lot of times you just have a natural this. So that's going to help you a bit. It's going to help. I think, Calvin, I would like you to try it, but don't just try it for half a run. Like literally try it for a day. Try it. I think it's going to be a very big beneficial thing. 50-50 is a name of a trick where the rail is like this, and then your board is also like with the same angle. That's a 50-50. We also got a $5 donation. Do I have to ride Perfect Duck for an ASIM board? I prefer 18.6. Chris, let's go with a donation, my dude. At the end of the day, I think what we're trying to accomplish is a stance that complements your riding style. Now, I'm pretty bummed about ASIM boards are not more popular because I think they're amazing. Burton used to make one of my favorite boards as a asymmetrical board. Essentially what that means for those that don't know, an asymmetrical board is the kind of on your radial side cut, which is the angle of your edge on one side is different than the other. So your heel side has a different angle than your toe side, if that makes sense. Like this one's super aggressive and this one may be less aggressive. So the ASIM boards are really awesome. So as far as like 18.6, I don't think it's that big of a deal. If you're going to do more switch riding, I would recommend maybe reducing the lead leg and then like going like 15-12 or 15-15 or 12-12. But I think it's fine. If you already love it and there's no compromise in your riding, you're totally fine. TB, can you give me pros and cons of 15.9 and 12.9? I would say that when you have like a big discrepancy between like 12.9, that your hip is naturally going to favor your lead direction. And then it just feels a little hindered on the opposite way when you're riding switch. When it's more like 9-12, you may not notice the difference because 3 degrees is still only 3 degrees. I would say that. And you may just feel, even with the 9 degrees in general, you might just feel a little bit more blockage on your switch riding. If you're never riding switch, then you're probably not going to notice it. But that's what I would say were like pros and cons of that. The big discrepancy between more degrees on the first number you gave me, you'll notice that discrepancy more, especially riding switch. The second one, not so much. Yep. Let's go. Just about to ask what your thoughts are on ASIM boards. I tried one and thought they were a cheat code. Can't wait to pick one out. Okay, two things. One, I don't try a lot of different snowboards. And then the one snowboard that I had, they stopped making ASIM and I was pissed. I haven't gone to search for an ASIM board. I do think they are cheat code. I think there is a benefit because when just the biomechanics of your body, when you are snowboarding, your ankle joint can do a lot of cool things. You can go like this and go like this, right? So when I'm on my toe side edge, I can I can absorb the train. I can be really aggressive on my heel side. I can do that, but you're still planted on a firm like heel, right? So imagine you're jumping. Me and you are going to have a competition. I'm going to jump and I can spring off my toes. You're going to not spring off your toes and you strictly have to jump off of your heels. Then because you're not springing off your heel, you have to move to the next joint up, which is your knees, right? So now you're trying to extend your knees as hard as you can. It's not going to get the same performance as me using my knees in combination with my toes. Therefore, it's a little different performance, right? It may not be as awesome. Now, me and you testing it, I'm not sure. Is it a 10% loss in height? I'm not sure. So that theory of the asymmetrical board is allowing that heel side to make up some performance with a lack of that ankle because you're driving off that heel so much, if that makes sense. So they're not drastic, but they are kind of compensating for lack of the ankle joint, which I think is super cool. I'm a big fan. I saw TC talk about setting bindings back to carve easier. Is that a thing? I like helps more leverage on your high backs through a carve. There's probably some validity to that. My theory and thought on it is I have zero problems carving, and I'm 15-15 true center, and I can carve better than most people because I have the skill of doing this a long time that helps me make up for that. Maybe there is a compromise, but the skill that I've developed over time, I don't really notice it. Could it help? If it could help, it could help a bit, but I also like having a bit more symmetrical more centered, because I actually like to power my carve through the front third of the edge. So if this is my like snowboard, as I'm making that turn, I'm trying to get this part of my board. I'm going to turn it this way so you can kind of see it. I'm trying to get this part of my board to actually engage in the snow, and that is starting to help shape that turn. So this part of my board is actually helping dig into the snow and deflect and make that carve turn, right? You can carve from the back end. I personally don't favor that because I like that early edge gripping to give me better snow grip, if that makes sense. So I would say, again, there's probably validity to what he's saying. I have a personal preference of being more centered, true twin, and favoring the front of the board to really get that performance. At the end of the day, I think you got to try it and see what works. Also, for me, I'm not trying to be so far tail heavy to compromise my freestyle, because one time I did set up a direction of board as a direction of board, and I had such a short tail that I did a 180, caught the tip of the board, and literally just smacked my head on the ground, knocked myself out, concussion, blah, blah, blah. So, with that said, if you ride posi, which is the positive, then you can benefit when it comes to carving, but your switch riding will be used less. Tommy's a big fan of positioning, knee turn, and using shoulders. Yeah, exactly. I think, like, I like to set up such a universal setup that's in the middle that I can literally do anything and everything at all times. I went to Japan with a camber snowboard and rode every day, and hitting cliffs and hitting park, hitting jumps, and then I'm carving, I'm riding groomers, I'm plowing through tree runs, and then I'm gonna go, kind of already said it, but then I'm gonna go ride park. I like one setup, and I'm also a big fan of one setup because once I'm used to it, I know how it operates in all these different situations. I'm never really adapting because I know what it is. But if I'm constantly setting my settings separately, then when I need to go ride that one perfect pow turn, it's like, or perfect pow run, I'm like kind of like trying to figure it out while I'm busy messing with my equipment where I should have just been riding pow. So I'm a very big advocate of, like, know your gear so well that you don't even need to know your gear, right? If that makes sense. Like, you're just like, yeah, I know what it is. It operates. I send it. So that's my positioning on a lot of that. So then I really just ride, like, historically for the last, like, 15 years, I rode one board a season. This year I do have two boards. I have, like, a big jump board, and then I have, like, a softer board. So I'm going to try that out this season. But just kind of like food for thoughts. And, like, at the end of the day, I don't want to mess around with my equipment. I just want to go snowboard. Especially if I was a guy who only had 5 to 7 days a year. I want to know my snowboard. But in the beginning, yeah, you got to figure out your gear, what you like, and the style of riding, and your gear, stance, body position's got to complement your riding style. And that's where I create content trying to help you expedite that process, or you take a lesson to help expedite that process. And it, without me saying, that's not, I don't have an answer. No, I have an answer. Ride one board every day. Exactly. Same. Never summer snow trooper for 5 years. Dude, we're on the same page. Charlie, thoughts on the BT, the Battalion 3 BT? I've never tried it. From what I've heard, there may be lack of stability, high speeds, carving, big jumps and stuff, but incredible in pow pow. So I personally am a little reluctant to try it because I just like hard carving, aggressive riding where I'm, like, trying to power everything into it. And the more power I put into the board, I want to be able to return. And with some of that other technology, I'm a little hesitant on for my own personal riding. Is it great for people? Probably. I think people love it. I have a buddy, Jose, loves it. I think he loves it. And he says it's really fun in pow pow. So I can't really argue that, though, right? I can't really argue that at all. And that's also, like, part of the problem with, like, and I'm kind of part of the problem too. Excuse me. Excuse me. Part of the problem is, like, let's say I make this jacket. Well, then next year I'm like, this jacket's awesome, but you know what? I kind of want to make this a little different. And then you're like, dude, Tommy, you just made the sickest jacket ever. Why'd you change it? Well, like, because I'm trying to improve it. So they do that to boards all the time. They're like, oh, we're going to make this Burton Blossom. Such a fun board. Or before that, it was the Burton True Twin Custom. It was like a sick, incredible board. And then there was ASM, and then they got rid of it because they're trying to make it better. They kind of change it. Or it's marketing, right? Hey, we did this new cool thing on this new snowboard. It's got this crazy technology. And you're like, bro, I love the last one. Why'd you change it? So I'm a big fan of, like, once I find a board, I kind of Like I have, by now it's a Burton Blossom. Is that one up there that's not broken? You can actually see that's literally a broken snowboard. It's like cracked. But that same snowboard, I have 4 of the same model, same size, because I loved it so much I never wanted to change it. So once you find something, stay there until they change it. And then you have to go through this whole thing again and finding a new board and blah, 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 blah. Yeah. Oh, you have a Beyond Metals. I actually did not know they made snowboards. I know they make like hoodies and stuff. I didn't know they made snowboards. That's sick. Still carves. That's great. Make sure your board matches the conditions. And that's where, like, I just ride a true twin camber board every day. Because, like, the hard reality, again, I'm not trying to be jaded. I just kind of have, like, such a different point of view of things. Reality of a POW day. Snows in Colorado, 18 inches. Your first chair. For your first 2 to 3 runs, it's going to be decent. It's going to be maybe incredible. It's going to be the best thing you've ever done for 3 runs. That was about 45 minutes to an hour of your day. The rest of the day, thousands of people have rode that run, and it's no longer untouched POW. It's POW, just like super choppy. So for the rest of the day, you're like plowing through it. So for me, as a camber board enthusiast, the first 2, 3 POW runs, super fun. I can handle it, no problem. But for the rest of the day, I'm thriving. I'm plowing through snow. I'm having the best time ever. I'm just charging and just like, ah. On the flip side, it's like, oh, I rode this powder board with no tail. It was great for 3 runs. For the next 6 hours, I'm miserable. Like, I might sacrifice the couple POW turns, or sorry, first POW runs that are like maybe 10% worse on my board. But like, for the rest of the day, I'm having a great day. So, again, a different opinion to most people. I'm very practical in my thought process. Because, like, I can go have one run that's incredible and the rest of my day sucks. To me, I'm trying to make the whole day amazing. And there is this thing called like recency bias. Your last run of the day kind of like dictates how the day goes, right? You're like, first day was amazing and the rest of the day sucked. Well, the rest of the day sucked. Where it's like, I'm ending on the day where it's like, that's the biggest thing ever, right? Type of thing. Again, maybe a little jaded. Maybe a little, yeah. I see you at Keystone often with your videos outside of the park. Where are your favorite zones to ride at Key? To be honest, in full transparency, I ride Keystone early season, and then once Copper opens their jumps, I ride Keystone maybe one other day, maybe 2 other days. And if I were to go ride other days, it would be the park. I don't know Keystone well. I've been to some spots. People love Keystone. Incredible, incredible early season. But once Keystone has their big park open or just jumps, like good jumps, I don't ride there because I love park. So then I end up like making content from the top of the mountain to the park, and then I go ride park, and then I go make content like the upper part. So I don't actually have any good thing to tell you about any good zones in Keystone because I honestly don't know. I don't know at all. Moving to California, let's go. You snowboarded there before. Knew anything in the area? Been watching your videos, and they're amazing. Yo, I appreciate that, dude. Yo, I appreciate that, dude. Assuming it's a hobby, I'll get into you there. Honestly, like, California's super fun. Where are you going in California? Do you know where you're going to be riding? Oh, you're moving from California. Sorry, I totally misread that. I totally dyslexic. Totally got that wrong. I know how. I have not snowboarded there. I definitely want to. It's on the list of things to do. But I'm not totally sure. Bogus Basin, I've heard good things. Pretty sure that's in Idaho. I would say they're fun park there. I'd say you probably get really good at carving, riding, vibing, and being creative. A lot of the videos that I create are like trying to be inspirational so that like there's a boring run, you make it awesome. I think that's like one thing I love as a snowboarder is just making things fun. It should be engaging. It should be exciting. It should be fun. Even if you have a basic run, even if you're riding with friends who have never snowboarded, you can have the best day ever because you're creative. You're trying things. You're challenging yourself. So I'll just say like, challenge yourself, be creative. And I don't know where you're going, but that could be a fun way to like ride and vibe. Watch his beginner tip videos. Definitely helped me when it comes to learning last year. Let's go. I love that. Yeah, I definitely need to figure out the YouTuber. I feel like my short form content kind of vibes. My long form content kind of dies. Yo, the boy, what a $50 banger. Thanks, Tommy, for the tip. Teach me at Keystone sometimes, LOL. I'm headed out. Have a great rest of your day. What a $50 banger, dude. Let's go. Hey, really, really appreciate that. Let's go. Dude, crazy. 50 bucks, man. I appreciate that. That helps a lot for sure. When's your next Cape scheduled? What do you mean by that? Question mark. Silver Mountain Resort. You heard of it? No, I have not. Apparently, it has a water park inside it. What? Yeah, I don't know. I'm not super familiar. I was talking about it earlier in chat where I was like, man, there should be like, maybe it's AI, maybe not, depending on how you feel about it, but like the most efficient road trip to hit every resort in North America. That'd be crazy. Okay, thank you for the clarification. I'm actually working on camps right now. I'm trying to host camps in January, February, March, and April at Park City, Utah. I'm trying to host some camps. I'm going to do, the goal is to do like a Saturday through Wednesday camp so that if you're joining camp, you only have to take off a couple days of work. And then the thought was take off Thursday, and then I was going to run a separate weekend camp. So it would be like a Friday, Saturday, Sunday camp. Because I think a week-long Monday through Friday is really hard to get off work. So if I could piggyback it on a weekend and piggyback it on the other weekend, I think that could be very advantageous for business and people and stuff. So I'm going to experiment with that year. I'm just waiting for approval from the resort. And then hopefully, if we could do that, that'd be super cool. That'd be super cool. Super cool. But today's video is sponsored by BENETEK, my outerwear company. I've spent the last 30 years snowboarding, trying to make the best gear possible with thoughts to make your life way more amazing. Whether it's your first day, first season, or your 10th season, we literally make gear for any snowboarders, skiers, or people who are stoked on the mountain with thoughtful gear such as pockets, hoods that fit over helmets, vents, cinches, waterproofing, seam tape, everything. We're trying to make our gear as absolutely incredible as possible. And regardless, if you've snowboarded 1 year, 1 day, or 10 years, our goal is to like invite you to the family. So if you're interested, we're doing an absolute banger Black Friday deal right now, up to 50% on select items, but everything is on sale, including the brand new gear. This right here, 20% off. We don't do deals on new gear, except for right now, we are doing deals on new gear. So go ahead and check that out. It's gonna be linked here or shopbenetek.com. We also we have winter jackets. We have pants coming soon. These jackets are literally like the cheapest thing. They're 95 bucks, dude. They're pretty sick. We got that. We also have like these collections where it's like literally one of one. No one in the world has this jacket right here, or this one, or this one, or any of these. So it's your chance to get a collector's item called the exclusive collection. We also do goggles, by the way, replacement lenses, strappets, and these. We're almost sold out. Pretty freaking excited about that. We also have hats, beanies, gloves, not gloves, neck warmers. We literally are doing like freaking everything. So if you're interested, pick up anything at shopbenetek.com, or just type in BENETEK on the Googs, or it's down in the description. On that note, my dudes, join me next Wednesday. By Wednesday, of course, I meant Tuesday, for another live stream, more live streams, more vibing, more videos, put notifications on. We're doing content. We're trying to take over the world by helping as many snowboarders as possible. I love all you guys. I'm going to hop off. Do we ship to Norway? Absolutely. We ship to Norway. You can get that international shipping. Absolutely. That, you said water, by water park, I really meant hot tubs. Okay. That makes sense, dude. That's sick. Yeah, we do ship to Norway. We ship international. We ship everywhere. So appreciate you guys. I'm gonna hop off. If you're just joining, we can go back to the beginning of this. We're gonna answer some questions, kind of vibe, chat, hang out. Love you guys. You guys are all amazing. Keep it up. Ordered. Let's go, Martin. No way. Let's go. Freaking hyped. I appreciate that. Ordered. Check it up. Can't wait. Let's go. Also, we have a 30-day money-back guarantee and free exchanges if you want it. You know, my goal is to literally get you in the gear. It is so sick. You have to experience it for yourself. The gear is incredible. It's got the stretch to it. It's non-restrictive. It's literally the sickest gear, and trying to get you in it. We're doing discounts. We're doing like 30-day money-back guarantee, free exchanges. Get in the gear. It's sick. Literally no risk. No risk. No risk. Literally, I'm taking the risk. No risk. So if you guys are interested in that, check it out. Awesome. Appreciate all you guys. You guys are amazing. I am Audi. Love you all. Appreciate you guys. And see you, I'm going to be posting videos, all sorts of videos. Check them out. Put notifications on. Love you guys. I've said that 3 times. Love you guys. Bye. And how do we end this darn thing? I don't know. Bye. End stream. There we go.